Hey guys, it's BW and we're back out in the garage. In this video, we're jumping back on our 55 Chevy. We're working on building a firewall that separates our cabin from our trunk because we're running a fuel cell and our battery in the trunk. From what I gather and read online, you have to have at least 024 steel or 032 aluminum gauge. Our steel's roughly, I want to say 28. So we're going to go ahead and cut those templates out that I made in our little short the other day. We're going to cut metal out from them. I got it laid out on here. I don't know those of you that watched the short, but this template works on the passenger side and the driver's side just by flipping it over. I just drew it on to the metal. I want to get it, I'll sharpen up the lines a little bit and then we'll get this cut out. After I get it cut out, obviously we'll dry fit it into the car, but then I want to pull it out and we're going to put a couple bead rolls on it in a couple strategic locations just to stiffen up the metal. I have a little tiny one underneath the bench over there. I bought it at one of the sidewalk sales at the Eastwood. It's under there somewhere. I don't exactly know where. I'll have to dig it out. But I bought it at a sidewalk sale at Eastwood the one time. Carried it around for like a half hour. The thing weighed like a boat anchor or something. I don't know. But let me get this piece cut out. And then once I get it cut out, we'll take a look at it in the car, and then we'll lay out for our bead rolls. And we're going to do it all together. So stick around and check it out. All right, guys. Well, we got it cut out. My shears are all down that house, and I didn't feel like grinding it, so I cut it with a jigsaw. Come out all right. I mean, it's not great, but if this is correct, I think it is, it should be transferable. This piece should work on either side. So let's get up in here and take a quick look. I'm gonna bounce you around with the camera for a second till I get up behind this roll bar. All right, see if I can get this piece of metal over here. All right, so there it is in the passenger side. Fits really good. All right, the only thing is with the saw, I got a little carried away right here. I'll show you. Right there, see, it's just a hair up, but there's metal behind it, so it doesn't matter. And guys, there is going to be a piece of Lawan wood with a little tiny piece of foam, and then we're going to glue our vinyl to that. So this is to just satisfy the track. All right, so it fits on the passenger side. Let's make sure it fits over here on this side. It's a hair tight in the strut groove. Excuse me, I'm bouncing you guys around again. It's just a hair tight right there. So I could just maybe grind at that for a half a second. I'm sure it will be fine. And it also fits right there. Two things I can see right now. Show you real quick. I think what I want to do is I want to trim it just a little bit more down here. I don't know. I might be able to leave it. Maybe I could just lift that up that much. That would be fine. But it fits on both sides. So my next move would be to put a few roll beads in there. So let me figure out where I want those. All right, guys. I got this laid out the way I think I want to do it. I've never bead rolled before. I think you're supposed to go down maybe a little bit at a time. I ran a scrap piece through. I think this is thin enough. It should be all right. The throat on ours, I think the max is like 8, so we're gonna go like 7.5 at the most. I went ahead and I sanded both sides of this with my big hog sander. That way I don't have to worry about getting into the grooves whenever I want to paint it. So everything will already be scuffed and ready to go. Now, bear with me, I never did this, so we'll see how it turns out. flimsy right here on the short side of where the strut goes through, so we put one there and that stiffened it right up. And then we just put a couple there and a couple there. I would have liked to have had a couple in here, but well, just don't have a deep enough tool. And we got one up here as well. This one is the only one that got a little messed up. And I'm going to take it over on the anvil and fix this on the end right here, because I didn't release it. It was the first one. So they're not perfect, but they're ours. All right, so let me get that unbent, and then let's see how it fits in the car. I'll be right back. All right, guys, well, let's take a look at what we got. We went ahead and just set it up in there, and it fits perfectly. Our bead rolls aren't the greatest, but they're going to be covered up. The idea is to make it so that it's rigid and it's not rattly and got a tinny sound to it. I feel like what I'm going to do is get some weather stripping with the adhesive back, and I'll put it around all the way around on here, and then I'll screw these down. I may even put a piece of kill mat on the back of them. We'll see. You know, it's just a firewall to protect the cabin from the fuel cell and the battery. We are also going to make a little piece to go on there, obviously. All right. It fits really good. If you look right here, it ends up right before this brace comes down in, and it might just touch the brace at the bottom, which is fine. Now, if I make one identical to this, you see this fits either way. All right, that one's in. Check it out, it's in there. All right, hold it in there nice and tight. But then you can see it comes over this far, like a 3/4 of an inch of an overlap. So we'll put a little step on there. It'll work out really good. All right, we'll be able to screw right to the brace and then put another layer of screws down through. All right, I was thinking about welding it in, but I don't know. I'll think about it some more. But I'm thinking just some screws with some, I think, because I really think I'd like to have a weather stripping the whole way around there, to really, like a gasket, to seal it off really good. All right, so that's what we got today. We didn't get a ton done, but we got something done. All right, and that's better than nothing. Worked all day pretty hard today at work, but I managed to get out here and get something done. I'm happy with it. The idea with these bead rolls, they're not perfect, but look how you can hold that out now, it's nice and rigid. And the piece we start with, you can't hold it out, it's too flimsy. See what I mean? So that's what we got going. We're gonna pick this up tomorrow. All right, take care. Okay guys, well, it's a couple days later. It's raining, so we worked in the garage today. Yesterday we were out there playing around, working on the floor of the Nova. We're kind of jumping around, we're having a good time. But with the rain coming in, we jumped back on the 55. And I got the second half of the firewall, the rear firewall, done. All right, so the next move for that will be to make squares with the little half moon cut out for there and right there. Then I'm gonna, like I talked about in the last segment, we'll get some weather stripping, put weather stripping the whole way around, and then screw that on. Obviously, I'm gonna paint it first. I scuffed it up. I just gotta pick up some satin paint, and we'll get that done. This leads me to the next thing. I gotta get this roll bar painted. It's starting to flash rust. All right, before I do that, I should have never welded these plates on. I'm cutting them off. It's a full frame car. The roll bar goes to the frame. All right, I tried to change my body mount bushings and they won't move. So, and this is a gasser. It's going to need those changed periodically, especially the way I plan to play with it. So those plates are not necessary. I looked it up. I've talked to several different people. I should have just left them off there, but we're getting rid of them. And they're not going to be fun to cut off. This is one of those times where when you're a good welder, they're on there, trust me. My buddy Kevin was over. We tried to pry the crap out of it to change one bushing, and it's like, no way, no way. So that's another thing. He'll be coming over pretty soon so we can get brakes back on this. But I'll spend the day. I'll get those plates off. All right, we'll get this sanded up, get the roll bar sanded up, get it painted. All right. As for the perforations through the floor, I may close them up a little bit, but I'm going to leave a little bit around them, you know, a little bit of room, because that the frame and the body will be independent of each other, and you don't want them to rub. So I'd like to have like a rubber boot or something around there. I got to get something for the hydraulic clutch, the master cylinder perforation there too. So I might just do something similar there. I might just make rubber boots and then just put like some seam sealer in the bottom to keep water from getting up and underneath there. So we'll figure it out. We'll come up with something pretty cool, and we'll go with it. But yeah, I'll get them closer, but whatever. Just babbling now. But we're jumping around. We're getting some stuff done. We're having a good time. As you guys can see, I also got to take a minute, and I got to clean this shop. I mean, dude, there is stuff everywhere. I can't even move in here. Okay, now we have 2 back glasses. I think I'm gonna go with the one Steve gave me, but you know, I got one under there, I got one on top, I got, you know, just stuff everywhere. I guess it happens when you're working on things. So I think it was Dan, he said I don't want to challenge him to a clutter contest. I don't know. I think it'd be a draw, at least right now. At least right now. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go in. I'm gonna see what we have, and I'm gonna put up this video. I guess, you know, we got the rear, I guess it's a firewall, you know, to protect it from the cabin, from the trunk, with the fuel and the battery back there. We at least got the pieces made up. They're just sitting in there, but we know they're fit, and we know it's going to be a good job. And obviously, then, you know, we're going to get a piece of Lawan with, you know, a piece of thin foam, and we got some vinyl to put back there. We're going to make it really nice, you know. All right, so Kim and I are going to do that job together. I got to get the side cards. We're going to do the same thing with the side cards and decorate it that way. As for the carpeting, I think stops right behind the rear door. I haven't figured out quite what I want to do yet. I've seen where people build ledges and do stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to go that route, or if I'm just going to get some more carpet. Something. We'll come up with something nice, but you know, it's a gasser. It's going to be clean, neat, and nice on the inside, and it's going to just be wicked and nasty on everywhere else, right? Anyway, this is what I got. I'm going to put it up. I appreciate you guys. The support you give is just awesome. Tell a friend. Let's get some more people in here. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. Till next time, take care, everybody.